Chubstep.
Jrad.
Creating the oil of
Steed. Chubstep.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the king of the jungle.
I mean, trust me, I know guys. All we need is a beer in our hand and a bro by our side, and we are out of the way.
This is Dulé Hill, a.k.a. Gus Silly Pants Jackson. But you know what? You can call me the number one fan of the number one podcast in the world, Chubstep.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the show started.
Hey, babes and bearcats. Welcome to a very special episode where we are going to be joined later by a movie star.
That's right. Silver screen
movie. I did look up to make sure he was credited correctly on IMDb. He is.
Yes.
Then I stumbled upon your IMDb page, Jared.
Oh, yeah. It has not been updated in a while.
Yeah, so here's the thing about your IMDb page, which the people need to know. It's got like a lot of producer credits and whatever, because you used to be in the biz. Only 2 people thanked you, which I thought was rude. Like you should have gotten more thank yous. And the only info about you listed on there,
is my height.
Is your height, which is 6'5".
I remember one producer guy we were talking to made a comment to me about that. He's like, "Oh yeah, I knew your height." When you like you up to IMDb. I think actually here's the story behind that. When I had IMDb, it was just the basic account, and for some reason, the only thing that you could update about yourself without having the pro account at the time was your height.
Okay.
So it's like I get there's something on there. Personal details. Yeah. Now I will say, Steed, there is a movie called Triumph, starring Terrence Howard and who's the second guy in this? RJ Mitte, who was in Breaking Bad. He plays their main son in Breaking Bad. Now this movie I actually should be credited as a producer on. I think I've never been able to watch the movie because I've been looking and basically it's never been actually released. So I can't, but at one point, I requested that my executive producer credit be added to this movie. And they said, we need proof. And the way to get proof is to watch the movie and take a screenshot of the credits. The problem is this movie was never actually released to the point where I was able to find it on anything. So
that's tough.
It's a tough look for me. So anybody that is on there, please note that I actually should have one more executive producer credit.
It says you're listed on it though.
I'm listed as
you're an additional crew.
Yeah, additional crew on that one. I did some of the background voice over kind of stuff.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah, no, I know. But that movie's kind of silly because they filmed it like a couple years apart. So they there's the kids in high school, but there's a big gap. I think it might have been filmed like 2 years apart. So people age quite a bit, especially if you're filming like potential high school people.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like our movie, like literally the exact same thing we did.
Oh yeah, we did
when we made a movie, and there's reshoots, and then people have beards, and then don't have beards in the next scene, and then they have a beard again.
Yeah,
it's all over the place, and that's what you expect from a guy that believes 1 + 1 is or one. What is it? 1 times 0 is 1.
Yeah, I will say I'm looking at one more thing on my thing. I was looking at the movies that I'm listed as a producer on. The highest rating on IMDb for any of them is 4.9 out of 10.
That's good.
That's a good sign.
That's really good.
4.9 is raw.
You were killing it out there, clearly.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Well, but Zach will be coming on a little bit. His 7.1. This is and his
7.1, which I'm surprised it was that high. I didn't think people would respond to it that well.
People like it.
Not because his. I actually loved the episode he was in. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah, I agree.
But Jay, before we get into that, before he joins, do you want a little bit of history from me?
Yes, of course. A Steed history?
A Steed history.
Yeah.
And stems from when I sent you that picture of Mary Todd Lincoln's sanitarium.
Yes. So for those who don't remember, Mary Todd Lincoln was at the end of her life put into a insane asylum, which is like 3 blocks from Steed's current location.
Yeah, it's right down there. So then I was like, how old is my building? I was like sitting up one night, just festering as I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, how old is my building actually? And I found an article, and it goes like all into the history of my building by like somebody who was old, and like their parents were there. And it's like, all old timey, and they got an old timey picture. But my building was built in 1890.
That is a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
And there's been some fun little things that have existed here.
So they actually, something actually has what has happened in your building?
Yeah, because they interviewed a woman who was like old as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I might not be able to find it, but she was old as hell, and like her aunt told her the history of the building.
Okay.
And then the people before that like built it or whatever.
Okay.
But it started out as a little drugstore.
Okay.
And then this guy was he was a businessman, so he didn't just stop at selling, the old soda pops and candy pies.
Yeah.
He started a toy store on the second floor, toy making factory, which is where I live.
Oh, nice.
So my apartment was a toy making factory. And then he eventually got into chickens.
Yeah.
Somehow. And as they did in the 1890s, this upstairs second floor was turned into a chicken coop.
So the toys didn't work out.
Yeah, I think, well, maybe it was a chicken coop first, then the toys. I can't remember the order.
Okay.
I'm like looking around, I'm like, son of a bitch, this used to be a chicken coop.
Yeah.
Santa Claus used to sit on my stairs during Christmas, which is fun. Because, I walk down those stairs sometimes, and I'm like, oh, Santa used to be here. Was there any other fun things? I think I was mostly excited about the chicken coop. Oh,
yeah, I guess,
also,
are you more excited about the toys, or are you more excited about the chicken coop?
I'm more excited about the chicken coop. I mean, that's a unique use of space.
Now, normally, I think your ceiling height, your huge ceiling height would come in advantage dealing with birds, but chickens can't really fly, so they don't even need as much ceiling height.
You could put like
as
a
you
shelf.
have.
You could do some type of shelf.
You can do a series of shelves going up. The chickens,
and then you can fit more chickens
15
in a
feet
row.
high. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
So the only other thing I found out about the history of my nice town, Batavia, Mark Twain was here once. We all know that JFK was here and he stopped outside my building. We all know that story.
Yeah.
But Mark Twain came here. I don't think he stayed in my building.
Okay. Probably didn't stay with the chickens.
Yeah, but he wrote a letter to I guess his wife or girlfriend or something. It's like a love letter, and it's really long. And the whole time he's talking about how he wants to like bang her and stuff. And then he just throws shade at the town of Batavia. And he calls it a sad, homeless town.
Well, Steed, so if you want something to refute those claims, I can do I know we've talked about this on the show before, but we can do another quick cancel of Mark Twain, just reminding people that he actually fought in the Confederate Army for a little bit.
I knew that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I kind of hate Mark Twain.
Yeah. Mark Twain's.
What did he ever write? Have you ever written
canceled.
or read one of his books?
No, he's too racist.
I haven't ever read a single Mark Twain book. I don't get it. I don't get the hype. Like Harry Potter.
The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Shit. I think I remember reading that, and I remember fucking hating it.
Yeah.
Because our teachers are like, you got to read this. It's, the best book.
Tom Sawyer.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, nobody's read this book in 100 years. Get a new book. Let us read Harry Potter. We all want to read Harry Potter right now. We would actually read it if we didn't have to read about some like guy licking up piles of hay.
That's right. Now, Steve, could he have made the homeless comments based on the fact that there was a chicken coop above the drugstore?
I mean,
Is that a bad look?
There's a chance that he did stop into the drugstore because
Yeah.
there wasn't a lot of stores,
Yeah, yeah.
So there's actually a pretty good chance that he at least acknowledged the drugstore, and you may have seen some chickens fluttering in the second story windows.
Yeah.
Sir.
I also am racist.
Sir, please have a seat.
I'm sorry. You're a racist?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not racist. I was told that would work.
Who told you that? All right, never mind. If I put you under oath, you would attest that you are not a racist. Is that correct?
I'm not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Valentine's Day is coming up here, right? And I was thinking if there's single guys out there that listen to the show, a good spot to pick up girls.
Oh, okay.
And I have that for them. Little tip here, some advice, if you will. I was at a bar recently, and they were doing a screening of I don't know what it was, every Thursday. It was some day of the week. They watch Vanderpump at the bar. Vanderpump Rules.
I don't know what Vanderpump is.
Vanderpump Rules is a show about a lady that owns a restaurant, and Lisa Vanderpump, and then she has a series of staff members that work for her, and it follows around their lives. You're basically following around restaurant employees. Yes.
Oh man, that sounds really good.
I know. Trust me, my reaction for hearing it the first time was the same. But I do know that girls are super into this. This is very popular in the female community. Therefore, if they are doing weekly showings of this show, I guarantee you there will be not another male watching
within 100 yards.
Within 100 yards of the bar that's playing this. Now, what I would do is, if I were a single guy, I would get like another friend or two and show up on those nights, and then get very upset at certain parts in the show. Like,
so like your backstory then.
You wouldn't. Well, I guess maybe
you got to.
It depends on how good your improv is. It depends on how good your improv is.
I'm thinking you got to go full. If you can't go in there and then look.
Oh,
like
you know what? It's valid, Steve. At least watch a few like YouTube recap shows and stuff like that, right? Because you're right. Because the goal is that the girls look over.
Oh, I
and
know
there's this. Yeah, this group of guys just like yelling, like super into the show that they're into, and then it's a good conversation starter, especially if you're the only group in there. And if somebody comes over to you and you're right, and if they start asking about the show and you don't know anything about it,
you're gonna look like a fool. They'll out you to the rest of their tribe too.
You're right, and then you'll be out of there. You'll be forced out. They'll be screaming and yelling at you.
Yeah,
to be fair, Steve, it's a good point. You're gonna have to do your research, but I feel like this is a good opportunity for people if they don't know where to pick up. I mean, like go to a normal bar, maybe it's 50-50, maybe it's 60-40. Guys to girls, right?
I've seen 70-30.
I've seen 70-30.
I've seen 80-20.
I've seen all of the above. It's very little in the favor of girls over guys. So this one is going to give you about as high as percentage chance as you can. Just come prepared. That's all I say.
I like it. I'm gonna have to go in. I mean, I don't want to watch that show. I'd rather do Below Deck.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
It's Below Deck is the same thing, except they're like Australian and they're on a boat.
I think there's more guys who watch Below Deck, but I think to your point, guys that would
you're trying to get the odds up. You're trying to get the odds
up. So the more the show is watched by the opposite sex, the better.
Yeah, I would do that with The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but if I had to watch a whole episode of that, I would kill myself in the bar.
And this is where I think about like if those new Apple I don't know if you saw the commercial for those Apple AR glasses that like can display something. If those were more subtle and you could just watch your own show while that's going on.
Yeah, I could watch some sports or something.
Or maybe put in like a like a small AirPod where you could just listen to an odd podcast of Chubstep.
I would just have it pure white noise drowning out what was on the TV. And then I put in contacts that looked like eyeballs, but really they just blocked my vision. Yeah. I'd be sitting there like blind and deaf.
You just have to make sure you have one person on lookout at all times in case somebody comes over to your table.
Yeah, they can like shake me or something.
Yeah. So anyway, there's my little tip for St. Valentine's Day is coming up. But make sure to do that after. Well, actually, right around there is probably a good time. Any of those times.
Get them when they're desperate.
Yeah, I would say like a day or two before. Look for an event that's a day or two before.
Day or two before. Buy some cheap flowers ASAP and just have them in your fridge on deck.
Bird up.
Hello.
So, Steed, I can't remember what I was watching recently, but I was watching some movie. And, I know what it was. Okay, I was watching the one with Julia Roberts where the world is ending with Ethan Hawke. Let me look it up.
The Terminator.
Nope, this just came out. Leave the World Behind. This is a Netflix movie, just came out. It's about kind of like, the world's like at least America is starting to come to an end. So anyway, he plays in this movie, he is I think technically a professor, but he's writing a novel. And what I've noticed is like, what percentage of the time in a movie or a TV show is a main character either a full-time author or writing a novel? And how many do you know in real life? What's the ratio?
I don't actually know anybody that's written a book.
I don't know anybody that's written a book or even really attempted to write a book.
Yeah, or describes himself as a writer. Because if they did that once and they weren't like in a books, if I walked into Barnes and Noble and didn't see them on the rack, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Don't ever talk to me again.
And also, where did I find a Barnes and Noble?
Good point. If you're not on Amazon.com, actually, oh my God, I did know a guy that he wrote some books. And this is a guy that I was in the Army with.
Okay.
And he like wrote a book and he's like, oh yeah, I wrote a book. He like thinks it's all fucking cool. And then I go to his books like Amazon page and the description of the book is riddled with spelling and grammatical errors. Riddled.
Like you're picking that up right away.
I couldn't read the description without being like, what the fuck is this about? And then I was like, okay, so anybody can publish a book.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, we have had a published writer on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Go Eat a
Her
Carrot.
book was good. I enjoyed
she
her
was
book.
on Corn Tits was her book.
That was the name?
I think so.
I don't think it was. Was it full on Corn Tits? I know Corn Tits was a character in the book.
Yeah, no, Corn Tits Part 1, Rowdy Tales from Rural Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is Crystal when Crystal was on the podcast. You can still get this. This is on Amazon. So we have had somebody.
Whoa! Don't Google Corn Tits.
You can Google it, just don't look at images.
Don't look at it. All of the pages are actually. There we go. The
book.
3 pages down is Barnes and Noble. And this is the book. The first.
Okay. I did a Corn Tits book. Maybe you should clarify that when you're typing this in.
Yeah.
So
either way, you'll have fun.
Give it a shot. But so we have had her on the show, but that's again somebody we knew specifically for talking about the book. So as far as writers I know, haven't met any, but it's insane that it feels like every 5 movies the main character is a writer.
Yeah, I think so. Like the show I love, New Girl. One of the characters, Nick Miller, he's like an on again, off again writer.
Yes, you're right.
But I feel like in that one, I don't know if this carries with yours, but it's a plot device where he can be home all the time.
Yeah.
And still have enough money to like do stuff.
Yeah.
And like not be a complete deadbeat because like, oh, he's a writer.
Yeah. It's a cop out. You're right. It's like, how do we give this person an opportunity to like, be in the thing all the time. Be in the movie or the show all the time.
He's just a writer. He just writes books.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's me. I'm just catching on. That's all I'm saying. Hollywood, be warned. I've caught on to you. I think also part of it is probably whoever wrote the thing. It's easy for them to relate to somebody that also writes things.
You know what? I didn't think of it that way either. Because that makes a lot more sense that writers are like, what should this character be? Well, I only know 4 jobs. I've already used policeman, fireman, and barber. So I guess it's writer.
Yeah.
Recording live from somewhere.
All right, everybody. And we are joined by a famous Hollywood actor, the father of my niece and my nephew, the fiance to my sister, the wonderful Zach. How are you, Zach?
Oh, I'm great. I'm doing good. How about you all? Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course. So Zach was on the hit Paramount Plus show starring Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone, The Curse. So they did all the filming for this show in Las Cruces, New Mexico, I think.
This was actually northern New Mexico. So mostly in the state capital, Santa Fe, New Mexico, in a small town, small city, population like 10,000 of Espanola.
Espanola.
And that's, yeah. In the show, it shouts out Espanola.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does that quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're from Las Cruces. That's why I remember.
That's
Las
right.
Cruces.
That's right.
So you were working as a firefighter in Espanola, and then they did an episode where they went to the fire department to make it eco-friendly, and they picked you to be handsome firefighter number 1.
Correct. That is facts.
Yeah. So Zach, I want to hear the story and how this all happened. I've seen the whole show. Number 1, best part was you, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, guys.
So I needed to hear. I kind of just want to hear the story of just kind of what happened, how you found out about this is going to happen, all that kind of stuff. Give us the background.
It was really simple, actually. Like, kind of crazy how it happened. So there was a third party working for the film industry for The Curse, Nathan and Bennie Safdie and Emma. And so they just showed up. Well, actually, they got in contact with our assistant fire chief. And this third party got in contact with them saying, we want real firefighters for this film that we're going to be filming for. And if we could use your station as well, so we'd like to have your department represent. And so they just stopped by the station one day and they were just like, hey, whoever wants to audition for these roles, audition for them. They're like, so they were like, all right, cool. So like only a handful of us auditioned for these roles. There were speaking roles. I think there was actually 2 speaking roles and I think 3 or 4 background roles. Mm-hmm. And I was so pumped, dude. I went in there, just like felt good, auditioned for it. And then I got an email like 2 months later saying, unfortunately, you didn't get selected for this speaking role. You can be a background role. And I was like, well, I'll be a background role.
Yeah, you tried.
Yeah.
I tried. So this is how it started. And so then we're on scene, we're on set, and I'm background role. And the 2 guys in my department who got speaking roles, they were there talking with Bennie and they're talking with Nathan. And they're just chatting with the other producer and director there. And I'm in uniform. And I'm like, they're in uniform. I'm a firefighter, so this is what we do. So like, I pull up next to my partners and just stand there, and I'm just standing there, just like
while they're talking to them.
Yeah, while they're talking, like I just walk up, just casually, just acting like I'm important.
Just enter yourself. You're like, who the heck is this guy?
Exactly. That's exactly
that's Zach.
That's like exactly what happened. Bennie, he looks at me up and down, taps me on the shoulder, and he goes, "What's up, man? I'm Bennie." And I'm just like, "Oh, like, hey, what's up, Bennie? I'm Zach." And we just chatted for, I don't know, like 2 minutes. And Bennie's down to earth. Bennie, being on set, being on scene, I got to know him a little bit. Bennie's super cool. Bennie Safdie. And so then an hour later, we're in our roles, and me and my other partner, his name is Zach, who got a background role. They come up to us and they said, "Which one is Zach Enriquez?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's me." And that was it. And they walked away. And I was like, "All right, whatever."
Yeah.
And, yeah. So then 30 minutes later, I get an email saying that the directors have requested you to audition for the handsome firefighter role.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
The
that's how
stand-in place worked.
it works, man. It works. So I had auditioned for it. Obviously, I had to, and I sent it in, and then yeah, I got the part. But I didn't find out till I like a week and a half. Like a week and a half before is like whenever I found out, and I was like, whoa.
Dang.
Huh.
Gotcha. So Benny had come there early, like a week and a half early, to just kind of check out the place, and that's when he saw you, and then they sent you. Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
There you
go. That was on set when that happened.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, so it was two different. So the finale.
Yeah.
I'm a background role in the finale.
Oh,
I was looking for you. Okay, because I was looking for you, and I was trying to find you, but I must have just missed that part.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you blink your eye, you'll miss
Okay.
me. Like,
okay.
I'm barely there. But that's what's crazy is like movie magic. They just like there's cameras everywhere and they just use whatever they want.
Yeah.
It's wild. Because I felt like I felt like as the background role, I felt like there was like a camera right in my face almost. Like
you're like, I am in this. I am in 2 episodes here.
Yeah. So that took place. And then also too is like they filmed the finale before they filmed what is it, episode 6, the one that I'm in. So yeah, I was like, wow, that's interesting to see it play out on the big screen. But
yeah, that would be weird. So they were at your fire department for a while.
They were actually. It was like I think 3 days or 2.5 days.
Now, did this affect the response of firefighter calls during those 3 days?
So what happened? I think it didn't, because the guys who didn't get any role or any part, they were on call.
Oh, no. That sucks.
Yeah,
guys...
yeah, I know. They really got it. They're just like, one guy, I think, one guy auditioned, didn't get it, and he was like, "Man, I'm here working." And I'm like, this ain't cool.
You guys get a call, and you're like, "Nah, we're not coming. Emma Stone's here."
Yeah,
you have to put the hose, get your garden hose out.
Yeah, that whole neighborhood is gonna burn down.
Yeah. So Zach, for those who have not seen your scene, can you kind of describe your interaction with Emma and with Benny, kind of in that scene?
So the one with Emma first, or the one with Benny?
Well, I guess just the whole episode, just kind of what happens with you in that episode.
Yeah, so that was actually filmed on 2 separate days.
Oh, so that is confusing. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little confusing to draw it back to. But basically what happened was they didn't give me any kind of instruction on how to act. They were just kind of like, here's your script. They sent it in an email. And
so you had an actual script?
Yeah. But it's very, very small. Like it's just kind of Nathan Fielder, like just kind of like what? Oh, you really want me to just say this? Like, and then there's also improv, dude. I'd say about half of it is just improv.
That's what so it's like a loose guideline, and then you're kind of filling in the rest.
Yeah, you fill it in, and then they come up with something on the spot that they just think of, and then you just react. Like, at least that's what happened with me and what I saw while I was there with other people. But yeah, like with Benny, that part whenever he was like, "Hey, I don't see no ring on your finger."
Yeah.
That wasn't in the script. And I just immediately just was like, "Hey, safety first. It could take your finger off." Like,
yeah. Okay. Because I was wondering, because you're wearing a ring now, but do you actually not wear it when you're working?
No, I actually didn't whenever I was working.
Okay.
Yeah. But at the time I didn't have the ring. So I was just like on the spot, like just like, yo,
that's good, dude. That's pro.
And it made the cut.
It made the cut.
It made the cut. Yeah. That one of all. And then the one with Emma was interesting. So this one, this is kind of like embarrassing, but whatever. I gave it my best shot. So we're getting set up to go basically action on the scene with Emma. And they told us where we needed to stand, everything, but they had to get other things set up. And so she's standing there like in the area, just reading her script, just like kind of pacing back and forth, going over her script. And I'm nearby, so I'm like, all right. So I want to practice too. So like I try to like, yeah, exactly. So I try to chime in like whenever it's my line after her line, and like immediately like got shut down.
Oh
Like,
no!
immediately, like I tried, and like she like kind of like gave me a half eye look up and just looked straight back down, just like I'm totally ignoring you right now. Like, and I just kind of like awkwardly just like took a few steps back and was just like out of there.
She's got her own way of doing it.
Like
Yeah.
that's how I see him practice in the movies, and you're
Yeah,
you're in the
you know what I
movies.
mean? Exactly. I was like, this is what stories are made of. Like, come on.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god!
thought we were supposed to practice our lines together. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And so that one was actually, but yeah, so that was the beginning of that scene, like what took place behind the scenes. And then there was like 6, 7, maybe 8 different takes. And Nathan and Emma as well, they were both kind of just like freestyling, just improv, like after improv, just like trying to get something to stick that they liked for the show.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and for you not to have that training and also to try to react to that kind of stuff, it's impressive that you were able to do that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm trying to think like how the only kind of, I guess I think what helped me the most is that it was at my station and I was in my uniform, and it's a home away from home. So I mean, like I'm just like, yo, it was.
Yeah, you're in your element.
Yeah,
doing
definitely.
your thing.
Yeah, in my element, just like And in the fire department, we speak to strangers, and we
yeah.
You got to deal with like somebody that has their hand cut off or some shit.
Yeah.
You can deal with Nathan Fielder looking at you funny for like an hour.
Oh man, maybe we could get on a side rail, but
yeah,
they came to visit the station before they'd like set up any cameras. So this was like a few weeks before they were like, or gonna actually come in and do the film.
Mm-hmm.
And so he shows up with his dog, and he's at the front door, and like the whole crew, everybody's there, and he's just like, "Yeah, this is my dog. She likes to pee on fire hydrants." And then just like straight face, just like,
yeah.
like, and I was like, "No way! Like, are you really messing with me right now?"
Yeah.
I legit thought we were on camera at that point.
Yeah,
I was like, no, this is some behind the scenes type of like Nathan for you, just
yeah.
But,
you like anything he does just it cracks me up. In your scene, so this is tough because obviously you're gonna want to show the kids, little Tonio and Lola, you want to be like, hey, daddy's a movie star, but you can't really show them because right after the first time you're shown on screen, it quick transitions to a shot of Nathan's penis and his peak, like very quick.
Micro penis. Yeah.
His micro penis.
Micro
I was
penis.
watching it.
Cherry tomato boy.
yeah.
So that's the first episode that I watched because I wanted to make sure I like watch that. So I'd be good for this. And then I watched it and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Nathan's hanging dong.
So Lola,
did you know that was coming?
No, I had no idea.
So you're watching it and you're like, yeah, I'm on TV, and then it's just
then it's like micro penis. So Lola actually watched it, And then whenever it came on, we were like, no, Lola, what's that? Pointing at something totally random, just like, no.
Damn it, Nathan Fielder.
Man,
oh man,
but,
that's like the one skit he does where he exposes himself to the kids. We got him.
Yeah,
got
that's
him.
true.
We
That's
finally
true.
got him.
Yeah, but to be fair, that was a prop.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I mean, they do a
Dude.
great job on those. It looks great.
It was. The funniest thing is like the lady. This is where it was kind of weird because it was like some lady like we had never seen on the set in the two days that we were there. She just comes up out of nowhere and is just like, "Hey, come check this out, guys!" And she's just like making a whole joke of it. Like,
oh, so she shows you?
She's the penis lady.
She shows us the prop. Yeah. And we're just like, Michael Penis Lady just came out of left field. Just like, what's up, guys? Come check this out.
Hilarious that that's somebody's job is to just make that.
I want one made for me because I think it would be really funny to like, accidentally forget to, zip my pants up at a party and then I'm hanging that little micro ween out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That would be funny. It's just to be walking around with that thing.
And then I would be, oh no.
Yeah.
If I ever want to leave a party, I do that, and then I'm so embarrassed. I gotta get out of there. I gotta skedaddle.
Yeah, it's hard to come back from that one to explain. No, it's not actually like that. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll prove it.
Yeah.
Hold still.
Zach, you know what is crazy about this, your story and all this? You have a good amount of lines in this show. You have a lot of screen time, good amount of lines. You have like more screen time than a lot of people that have gone to LA to become actors that have been trying to do this for like 10, 15 years with zero effort on your part other than the audition that somebody came to you from. It's like one of those stories of like, oh, how did you get in the industry? I was just discovered working at the, firehouse.
Yeah.
And like then you've got the people that audition, 10 times a week and never get a role. You just got talent. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I can't argue with
it. God's gift.
God's gift, baby. You can't argue.
No, man, that is wild, and I've heard it time and time again. I have a friend who grew up with, went to school with, and she's been trying for a long time to get into the film industry and doing every job she can possibly imagine. So I came to her whenever this happened. I told her what happened. And her boyfriend at the time was on the phone, and he was just like, "What?" He was like, "That's every actor's wet dream."
I know.
Dude, yeah, you can't be talking to other actors about that because they're gonna all be pissed at you.
Dude, so that put it in perspective for me. Like, wow, this is really something. But
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, I still can't wrap my mind around it. I think, but this was October 2022.
Yeah, it was a while because I was sworn to secrecy for a while. Then they finally announced the show. Then I was unsworn to secrecy, but then we wanted to wait till it came out to bring you on the show.
Yeah,
it was a while.
It was a while, and I don't know. I guess there's just different factors, different variables that took place. But the thing that I can say, like, I felt most comfortable, like, that it wasn't such a big deal to me, was like the experience I had with having Lola as my first child. That was just like above anything and everything else. Like that.
Yeah.
That's like my little heart just running around outside my body. Like,
and she, how old was she when that? Because she was really young.
Yeah, she was very young. So she was like 7 months old at the time.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But,
very cool. Yeah, and Paul showed me that picture of like you with Emma Stone and Benny and Nathan Fielder, like with Lola there, like, or there's one where Emma Stone's like, very close to Lola. It's a very cute picture.
Very cute. And if Lydia was on, I didn't witness this because I was saying hi to Benny and Lydia was holding Lola, and Emma Stone just comes up, just like making like all these crazy wild faces at Lola.
Just
And
getting
Lydia
up in her face instead
just
of like,
like,
oh, nice
yeah,
baby.
just
She's
like,
blah, blah.
it's just like, what? High energy.
Basically how I interact with babies.
High energy. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Came in with some high energy.
Zach, there was a scene that they mentioned, and I'm curious if it ever got
Oh
filmed.
my
But
gosh.
were you going to ask this,
Yes.
Paul?
Yeah.
They were saying, hey, can you get Zach to go in the other room and like,
Shirtless.
bench press shirtless?
They go, what? Would you give me a shirtless firefighter in the weight room? Would you be opposed to that? And then the captain's like, no, we wouldn't be opposed to that. And then he's like, good, give me Zach.
Yeah.
Did you film that or no?
No, man. No, I was hoping we would have, but no, it didn't go through. That was improv. That was in the script, and this is what I'm saying. Benny was down to earth. Like, there's a tent with like two main guys who are directors and audio and visual, and they got their headsets, and then there's like 4 or 5 other headsets for like Nathan and Benny to come out, watch it, be like, okay, let's go back in, let's do it this way, and like a couple extra. And so Benny came out one time, and there was like 2 extra headsets. I was like, hey, is it cool if I listen in? And he was like, yeah, go for it, man. So like I'm sitting there under the tent with these 2 directors, and all these other actors are just like sitting in chairs, like just like don't even know what's going on. And I was just there, just like listening to every take, and then listening to them come out and be like, no, let's do it this way, or what'd you think about it that way, or just like that whole experience was priceless.
That's really cool to like see what's going on, like get the full experience of what's going on when like shows or movies are made.
Yeah, it was the full experience. I took advantage of that opportunity. So I was on the headset, and Benny walked in because they kept it. I guess I don't know. They kept the cameras rolling for some reason, and he just walks in, and then he's like, "Great, I want Zach." And then he walks out, and everybody's just laughing because it was just funny. Because like he thought that was
a funny line.
That was our assistant chief, and you could tell he was like he didn't know what was going on. He was like, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
And, but no, so that scene never took place, because that was just like him just being funny, like, hey, let's do this. Like,
yeah, I was waiting for that. That for the show, that probably would have been like that would have like switched the whole vibe to like more of a classic Nathan Fielder show.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
so I get why they didn't put it in, but I was hoping it would pop up later in that episode.
Yeah. Now, Zach, I'm looking at your IMDb right now. I do not see any upcoming projects. Or is there anything on the horizon?
That's a good question. What's next?
Yeah, just nothing right now. There's nothing. I have gotten a few emails, like for one was like a dental commercial.
What?
And, yeah.
You did?
And I think honestly, when I auditioned for it, I think when I sent it in, something got messed up in sending it in, but I didn't get that role for the dental commercial. And then another one was for like a background role, a firefighter, but it was like not even a speaking role. It was just like you stand there for like 2 seconds.
You're
past
that role at this point.
I was like, no, we can't do that. We can't go backwards.
Can't go backwards.
But so I am SAG eligible.
Nice.
Yeah, I got the pamphlet in the mail with all the information, and the only thing, my friend, she's in acting, and she said if you get in the union, you can only do union film.
Yeah.
So that kind of excludes you from building your resume to wherever you want to take it. But so that's why I didn't get my SAG card.
There's still time.
I'm eligible. That's the thing.
I like it. I like it. Well, that's awesome, Zach.
I would like to, though. I mean, just kind of gonna have to see how things shake out with the rest of life, and hopefully I can make something happen. But
Hey, you never know.
never know.
Maybe some guy will come into North Carolina and wherever you're at, he'll be like, you look like you got what it takes.
I don't know, man. I feel like,
and you just go, yeah, I've heard that shit before. Let's go. Sign me up.
I know, man. Yeah, I'd have to really put forth a lot more effort this time around.
Well, now that you know, you'd be like a pro on set if you ever get pulled again for something.
Yeah.
You'd be like, give me that extra pair of headphones. This is how me and Nathan did it.
Let me show you how we did on The Curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.2 IMDB. Get with it.
Get with it.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to keep you too long, Zach, because I know it's late for you, but any other kind of final stories you want to share with it or anything we missed out on?
I just recently I heard that Benny, I think it was, talking on an interview with basically about The Curse and how it came to be. He said him and Nathan like became friends somehow, like it was a slow friendship that developed. And one time Nathan was just telling him about how it was moving to LA and getting through the airport, and that some lady for some reason, I think, asked him for money. And I think he said that he didn't have any cash on him. And then she literally said, "I curse you."
Oh, no.
I may not be getting this verbatim, but
Lydia, get out of here.
I just saw something cool. I'm trying to show you.
What is she saying?
So Lydia saw something really cool on the news on Yahoo.com, Yahoo Entertainment. Title is "The Curse Recap. Bye bye Flipanthropy. Hello Green Queen." And would you look at that?
Oh, there's that.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, that's the Yahoo Entertainment thing.
Let me continue. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the picture in the Yahoo Entertainment article, the main picture there is Zach and Benny.
Yeah.
Boys.
The boys.
Dapping each other up.
That's awesome. Good find, Lydia.
Good find, Lydia. So it might not be verbatim, but I think if I remember correctly, yeah, this lady was like, "I curse you," and so then it stuck with him for a while. He was just like, "What does it mean to curse you?"
Yeah.
So then he like got some cash and went and gave it to her and was like, "Is the curse lifted?" And then she looked at him like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh no.
And then so yeah, and then that's how the curse came to be. Like they just dove deeper into it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, I really do like the show. It's I'll say it's like an interesting watch if you're gonna go into it. It's not like as if you've seen Nathan For You,
nothing like his other shows.
Yeah, but it's very funny. You just got to pay attention. Don't be on your phone when you watch it, because it's like there's a lot of little subtle things like
subtlety.
In your episode, Emma Stone, like they show her texting and she's like, "You seen Benny's show about burn victim dating, or like Benny's burn victim dating show?" I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? But it's just like little funny things like that in the show. I like it. Well worth a watch, and you get to see Zach.
Oh,
episode 6. Episode 6.
Episode 6. Check it out.
And it's cool that they used a lot of local people for it. Kind of showed the kind of community.
The cast list is like 100 local people.
Yeah,
it's a cool way to do it. Make it authentic to kind of where you're doing it, right?
So authentic, dude. Then another guy's story. I don't know if you remember Freckle.
Who's Freckle in the
So Freckle in the show, that's his character name.
Yeah.
He was Nathan's like handyman.
Yes. Yep. 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 I remember that. Yes.
With the truck and
yes. Yeah.
So Freckle, he said, I think on Cuesta Lane, he lives down the street from where it was filmed. And this is how he told me. This is how he told me. He was like, so I'm there in my garage with my homies, you know, we're having a cookout. And then we see a group of white people just walking down the street. So we were like, hey, let's go check this out. Let's see what this is about. So they walk up and it's Nathan, it's Benny, Emma, the whole crew. And then all of a sudden, they ask him to audition, and he gets the role as Freckle.
That's awesome. That's
checking
awesome.
out white people in the neighborhood, and he ends up getting a role on the Curse. That's awesome.
Yeah, so like him, for example, he was on set way more than what he's actually featured in the film.
Yeah, they probably kept
him around in case.
Yeah,
because they don't know when they're gonna like throw him in there.
Yeah, exactly. And then other ones they cut out. Like there was one scene that this one was just a improv, basically a freestyle, where Nathan came up to me and he was just like, "Hey, just talk to Emma about the hose."
Oh yeah.
Talk to Whitney about the hose. It's just like, okay. And this was after we had already done the scene where we're supposed to be like flirting and
yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so I kind of got an idea of more like be more aggressive flirting wise. So
yes,
like,
yeah.
So as you can picture it, we're just talking about the hose and yeah. I didn't make the cut.
Oh God.
Too aggressive.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, they probably could have went like way more over the top with a lot of that show, but it is interesting to watch that it's like not.
But I think to your point, they knew it was like supposed to be a HD TV show, so they never would have allowed anything in the show that was too aggressive type, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, they couldn't allow that.
Yeah.
Another fun fact, when the scene with Benny, whenever it shows me and I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
It's real subtle. I mean, unless you're like watching what I'm doing, but they actually told me, they were like, yeah, just text somebody. Just get on your phone and actually text someone. So
yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. So like I was texting Lydia. Well, I was like, yo, I'm being filmed right now. Like this is going down.
This is wild.
I'm on TV.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure if this will make it, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I mean, hopefully they have a season 2. It looks like something is coming out for it, what they're calling Green Queen.
Oh,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
well, they renamed the show Green Queen.
Yeah, exactly.
In this one, but if they change it from the Curse and season 2 is called Green Queen or something.
Well, I think that's part of their. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I just seen little like remarks about it being Green Queen instead of Flipanthropy, which makes me think that they're gonna have a whole show about the show Green Queen.
Yeah. But and for the record, you are available if they need you again.
I'm available, 100%.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. We'll be the first to release it. We'll be the first to put that out there. You are available. Zach's available.
Let's go.
They will take the relationship further.
We'll call Nathan.
But not too far. Not too far.
It's HGTV.
That's right. That's right.
It's on TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Zach. That's awesome. We really appreciate the story because like I've been looking forward to the show, and then especially once I knew you were in it, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. Very exciting.
Yeah, thank you guys. Yeah, it was. Still can't wrap my mind around it, to be honest.
That had to be like such a 180 that day, but yeah, thank you for coming on. thanks for sharing the stories. And Zach, we'll be keeping an eye out on the Oscars and Emmys and shit.
That's true. Yeah, you still got Emmy nominations coming up.
Got it. You're saying there's a chance.
There's always a chance.
I mean, technically there is.
Technically, you have a chance. Yeah.
Wait.
If I had a vote, you would get my vote.
Yeah, I don't watch that much new TV, so I'd also vote for you.
I got 2. Hey,
that's more than most people. Again,
you get the Chubstep Award for Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah,
in the television show on Paramount Plus.
Let's go. Yes.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Oh man, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys.
Perfect. All right, appreciate it, Zach. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yeah, anytime. Give me a call.
Hi, this is Billy Bob Thornton. Welcome to my official website. And as Sage says, what's up?
All right, well, there was Zach. Thank you again for coming on. New episodes every Thursday. Email the show, chubstep.podcast@gmail.com. Rate us on Spotify and wherever you listen to the show.
Yeah, somebody tanked a Spotify rating. We're actually rated on Spotify now.
We're rated on Spotify, but as people know that have listened to the show for a long time.
It's 4.4, so one person tanked us.
We have, I think it was 2 people that knew each other, both trying to take us on purpose.
We got tanked on that too? Was that my fault again?
Yeah, that was both of your fault.
God damn it. I know that I had the whatever Apple podcast. I knew.
Oh, I think they were connected. Yeah.
Oh, they're connected? No, they're not connected.
No. I mean, I think they're related. I think it's the same.
Okay,
person.
it's a related tanking. Yeah, I accept that.
But anyway, thanks, Zach, for coming on. The show has ended. Be gone.
Now you know you got to go.
Peace. This is Yasin.